I'm Jeremy Brim, and I bring around 20 years of experience in helping businesses grow, in particular in how to acquire new business through competitive procurements. We find that suppliers can struggle to secure new business, particularly with the public sector. They struggle to gain insight into the client's drivers and prepare well for bids. They may have an industry average win rate and an unpredictable short-term pipeline of opportunities. And that can lead to low scores on quality submissions and some silly compliance issues too. One key area we're going to talk about today is executive summaries. I'm really bored of being bored by boring executive summaries. I'm just bored. We've lost count of the drafts we've received with an opening line of "We're really pleased to have been invited to tender for this prestigious something something commitment, blah blah blah." Yawn. Clients don't care about you. They care about what you're going to do for them, the value that you're going to create for them. We're also tired of being brought in towards the end of bids where teams are struggling to write a compelling executive summary. Your bid leader should be able to draft at least a decent exec sum based on the outcomes of your strategy session right at the start of the process. If they can't, why are you bidding for it at all? Anyway, grumble over. Instead, let's see how we can make your executive summaries epic. Order your content for the client and not your ego. Let's talk about them first. When you see a big group shot at a wedding you attend, what's the first thing that you look for? That's right, it's yourself. Clients want to hear about themselves, and they want to know that you get them. They want to know that you understand what they need, what their concerns are, and how it can be tackled. Talk about the client first. Let them know that you get their issues. Give them an introduction centered around your understanding, talking about their situation and needs and what's important to them. Once you've demonstrated that you understand the situation, the challenge and what is required, hit them with a big impact statement. This is a high-level strategic statement that demonstrates how you're going to solve their issues and the value you will deliver. It needs to be short, 2 or 3 lines at most. It's a headline that should grab their attention, like in a newspaper. Preferably, it should come in the first person from your delivery lead, the accountable person that they will work with day to day. Now unpack a bit more about how you're going to deliver the value of that impact. Provide 3 headlines with associated details of your proposition. This is the core of your exec sum, the value proposition made up of your win themes. These should be the 3 big messages that the client remembers about your bid. Don't talk about how much your service will cost, but walk them through the value you'll create for them. Sure, talk about your team, but focus on how their experience de-risks the project or speeds up mobilisation. Make sure you talk in outcomes. If you've got an impressive, unique selling point that sets your delivery apart from the rest, now is the time to tell them about it. Wow them with something they'll find interesting and that they will remember, that really sets you apart. And finally, do the big guns bit. Provide a statement from your sponsor for the tender, a senior executive who will ultimately be responsible for the opportunity and the work. This is where the blah 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 bit should go. It should be last. Lastly, can you test any of this with the client before submission? Can you at least double check that your proposition resonates with them? Ideally, this should take place early on in the bid process to enable change and to provide confidence. You should ask yourself, if you don't have a relationship where you can phone someone up at the client and test ideas with them, there's somebody else that you're bidding against. So what else do we have going on through our partnership with YPO? We run a series of full-day bidding masterclasses nationwide in person with training events led by myself but in partnership with one of the procurement people from YPO. We also run half-day specific courses for categories between stocks and supplies and services. We have workplace closed courses that we can come and deliver in your workplace, and we provide these webinars too. We also have a series of breakfast events called Bids and Procurement Live, which are 2-hour mini conferences for bidding and procurement professionals. So it just remains for me to say thank you very much for watching this webinar. Please do get in touch on the details in the bottom left.